Hello ladies and gentlemen, Chess here, and today we'll look at game of Miki Adams. I struggled yesterday to record the video on Barry's Gelfand, but I just couldn't. His chess is so hard to understand and find some meaningful advice from it. He plays not to say boring, but kind of doesn't allow any counterplay and any live chess. Yeah, when let's say opposite color, opposite side castling, yeah, and both sides naturally attack each other. Yeah, but Gelfand doesn't play like this. He plays like castles same as his opponent and just pushes, controls the center and doesn't do anything, and opponent just gives up, or he exchanges all the pieces and wins a very, very boring, very close endgame. So I don't know, and I've heard about him that he's you can learn something from his chess, but I haven't found a game yet which I can just understand and tell something about it. And Miki Adams, on the contrary, I saw, I think, commentary by Fedoseev, who said that Miki Adams is actually a very, his style is, you can learn something from him. And I took the first game, and it was really, I think, at least you can understand what's going on in this so far. So, yeah, he's a great player. So he plays against young Swiss Grandmaster Studer, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7. So this is Queen's Gambit, except declined. Bishop f4, more. I think it's more popular than bishop g5 right now. Castles, e3, knight d7, c5, and c6. So I never played this position with black. Somehow I always play something different, but I liked how. So what you get from this position, h3. The idea, I think, by white is to gain some tempi on this not developing bishop on f1. So they start to play just moves which can be useful in future. Yeah, b6, white supports with b4 and a3 and h6. So the problem is that black don't want to put the bishop on a6 because white will take it with one tempo. And so they play the h6 and queen c1. Again, kind of a useful move. It's an engine move, obviously. Queen can go to b2 in certain variations. It's useful there, and both sides actually fighting for this a line. Bishop b7. Again, Miki doesn't want to put the bishop and give tempo to white. Queen c8, castles, and bishop a6. Normally in this Queen's Gambit, this dark square, light square bishop is problem for black, and if they manage to exchange it, then they should be fine. So just consider this exchange. And it's important that normally in lower rated opponents they will put it on d3 all the time, but when they castle, they cannot move the bishop not to exchange it, yeah, because they will respect the light square bishop as the strongest piece, but after castles it's pinned, so you have to, so it will be exchanged by anyhow. And queen b7. So white has this space advantage, and black can double the rooks on the save file and capture a pawn and exchange the pieces and possibly have a normal playable position. Rook b1, in c2, takes, and rook a8. So this is all pretty standard. And he took with the rook. After queen takes, b5 is strong, according to engine. If you take, then it's knight takes b5 and pawn goes to c6. Actually, it was second match between Anand and Carlsen where Vishy won a game in this variation with white pieces. Okay, so he took with the rook and queen a8. So it's quite natural that you want to put your rook first and then queen behind it, so it can infiltrate against the rook standing there. It's harder to attack this battery. Knight d2 and knight to e8. I normally, when I play, I tend to play knight e4, and I think I get worse positions there, but grandmasters, they do it all in timely manner. So he just has a plan to put knight to c7, to move bishop to f6, and then push e5. So he captured this line, and he will try to attack the center. Knight b3, knight c7, bishop g3, takes, and bishop f6. So black achieved this threat, e5, and if white captures on e5, then this c5 pawn will be weak. So white plays e4 himself. For white, it's suggested to play bishop d6 and give extra protection to this c5 pawn. So if you lose a pawn in this kind of positions, it's totally lost. So white played e4 and knight b5. Knight d5 is also possible, and black has a small advantage, but if you have an isolated pawn, it's always better to attack it, even though knight is a little bit on the side of the board. Queen d2, so they exchange the rooks. Queen a4, adding another piece to the attack. Knight c3 and queen b4. Again, I think at this point black is clearly winning. Yeah, they have pinned this piece, this pawn is attacked, and in some variations black can capture on c5 and threaten with this beautiful bishop. Takes on b5, and here Adams plays an intermezzo move, knight takes c5. So notice this pawn can capture because queen is hanging, and knight cannot capture the knight because queen is hanging. So it's important that this knight cannot run away because it has nowhere to run. Basically, if you play like knight c3, then this is totally winning. All pieces are pinned and attacked, and the black is material up. So he gave up this pawn, and black goes into final counterattack after queen has left defense of the king. Now black is moving towards the king. Knight d2, very easy move. Knight f1 is a threat. Check. h4. So it's hard to defend this king. Yeah, if you play, you cannot move the bishop because knight f2 anyways forces white king to go back, and then there will be discovery, knight d3 winning. h4, queen e2, creating another deadly threat and winning the queen. So queen c6, h5, knight f1, queen e1, proposing exchange of queens. Of course it's declined, and after knight g4 white resigned, because they either have to give up this queen or play here, and it's mate in 2 moves. So very nice win by Miki Adams. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.